drug trafficking ringleader was sentenced to 30 years in prison by the court for his large-scale drug distribution network.
The heavy steel doors of the courtroom swung shut, signaling the definitive collapse of a notorious underground empire. A profound silence fell over the Houston federal courthouse on February 18, 2026. DEA Special Agent in Charge Brian Lerdo and U.S. Attorney Nicholas J. Ganjay stepped to the podium to announce a landmark sentence that dismantled a ruthless criminal network. The ringleader, 40-year-old Frederick Jermaine Dunbar, must now pay the ultimate price for the heartless crimes he orchestrated. The investigation into Dunbar's organization began in early 2020. At that time, law enforcement agencies identified him as an extremely dangerous source of supply. He funneled massive quantities of mind-altering illicit substances into the Houston area. The organization's illegal operations were highly complex and riddled with deceptive tactics. They constantly shifted their methods of operation to evade the intense pursuit of security forces. The illegal trafficking operations of this ring inflicted immeasurable pain on innocent families. Dunbar showed zero concern for the catastrophic consequences these toxic substances brought upon the community. He focused solely on the massive illicit profits harvested from the downfall of others. With each passing day, his organization extended its venomous tentacles deeper into residential neighborhoods. Authorities fully grasped the urgency of swiftly uprooting this cancerous growth once and for all. Tears streamed down the cheeks of countless mothers who lost their children to the depths of addiction. The Houston community witnessed the daily decline of a young generation losing its sense of self. Once bustling street corners grew bleak, haunted by the aimless shadows of the lost. Dunbar's organization ruthlessly drained the lifeblood of society to amass inhumane wealth. Authorities felt this pain deeply and vowed to ensure no more lives would be senselessly stolen. Hospitals and addiction treatment centers across the state have been operating at full capacity to save victims. Medical professionals are heartbroken witnessing bodies withered by the devastating toxicity of these substances. Massive healthcare resources are now strained, forced to shoulder the fallout of a criminal gang's greed. Community outrage continues to mount against these unforgivable crimes. Their actions have truly eroded the economic and spiritual strength of society as a whole. A prime example of this gang's audacity occurred in April 2020. Dunbar personally stepped forward to arrange the purchase of 2 kilograms of methamphetamine. His objective was to redistribute this large quantity of crystal meth to a lower-level accomplice within the ring. He was confident that his plan was flawless and that no one could detect his covert movements. However, every single one of his actions was already squarely in the crosshairs of seasoned investigators. The blatant and public nature of these activities has attracted a massive community of dark-minded individuals who gather to carry out wrongful acts. This dangerous platform boasts a vast membership of over 142,000 users who remain active around the clock. Authorities have recorded a staggering figure of more than 215,000 messages exchanged between users on the system. Behind these massive numbers lie countless sinister plots aimed at disrupting the peace of both families and business. Long, sleepless nights tracking the target were a series of incredibly grueling days for the investigators. They faced immense pressure as every decision directly impacted human lives. The criminal gang was armed, reckless, and prepared to act violently to eliminate law enforcement officers. However, the flame of justice burned brightly within the hearts of these brave soldiers. They quietly wove an invisible net, tightening the noose around the arrogant ringleader. Behind the silent victories lies the boundless sacrifice of the officers' families. Empty seats at the dinner table where fathers and mothers should have been became a familiar sight throughout the investigation. They set aside their personal happiness to exchange it for the peace of tens of thousands of other homes. Their courage and selfless spirit of dedication have become an immortal symbol. These heroes stand firm against every lurking danger to protect justice. Throughout the long and grueling investigation, authorities deployed a series of large-scale raids. They overcame countless lurking dangers to peel back every layer of this gang's cover. Their tireless efforts resulted in the successful seizure of approximately 12 kilograms of various narcotics. This massive haul serves as the clearest evidence of the ruthless scale of the ring's operations. Eliminating these illicit substances before they hit the market saved thousands of lives from the dark abyss of addiction. More specifically, the seized evidence included 1 kilogram of extremely dangerous cocaine. Along with that, law enforcement discovered an additional 5 kilograms of heroin, which possesses a devastating, destructive power over the human body. Most terrifying was the 6 kilograms of methamphetamine ready to incinerate the futures of countless gullible youths. These cold numbers are a true reflection of the ringleaders' bottomless greed and utter cruelty. Society would have suffered catastrophic consequences had these illicit substances successfully entered circulation. Intercepting this massive supply was only the first step in the campaign to wipe out the criminal network at its roots. Authorities deployed sharp tactical measures to track down every individual involved. To date, they have successfully convicted and sentenced 12 other individuals participating in this conspiracy. The henchmen who once served as Dunbar's vital accomplices must now one by one bow their heads and face justice. This chain reaction collapse serves as a powerful blow to any criminal organization seeking to rise. In the face of the rock-solid, irrefutable evidence presented in the solemn courtroom, Frederick Jermaine Dunbar realized he no longer had any chance to evade his rightful punishment. October 15, 2025 marked a significant legal turning point when the suspect officially pleaded guilty. His initial defiance completely crumbled under the forceful arguments of the prosecution. Justice has finally prevailed, offering a measure of solace for the losses the Houston community has endured. In the high-tension sentencing hearing, U.S. District Judge Andrew S. Hainan demonstrated the unwavering strictness of the law. He exposed the ruthless nature and the devastating impact of Dunbar's actions. The judge ordered the Mastermind to serve 360 months in federal prison. 30 years buried behind bars is a heavy price, but one entirely deserved for a man who sowed such widespread suffering. This landmark sentence serves as a powerful deterrent to anyone plotting to build wealth on the blood and misery of others. The moment the judge struck the fateful gavel, the darkness of crime was completely extinguished. Dunbar stood in silence, head bowed, before the strict judgment of the superpower's legal system. The ironclad evidence exposed rendered every effort to deny his guilt utterly hopeless. The courtroom seemed to overflow with the stifled emotions of innocent citizens who had long suffered. The judicial system has proven its supreme power to protect justice and restore a fierce sense of faith within the public. News of the severe sentence handed down to the kingpin immediately sent shockwaves through the underworld. Other criminal organizations began to feel fear closing in as they witnessed this total collapse. Law enforcement has sent a forceful message that no criminal, no matter how powerful, is out of reach. All attempts to evade justice will ultimately lead to the most rigorous and fitting punishment. The long arm of the law misses nothing. Every villain hiding in the shadows must eventually bow their head and pay for their crimes. The punishment does not end with 3 decades of forfeited personal freedom. After serving his lengthy prison sentence, the subject will continue to face strict management measures. The court explicitly mandated that he be placed on supervised release and remain under constant monitoring for the following 5 years. This decision is designed to ensure he has no loopholes to return to his former life of crime. The judicial system has demonstrated extreme resolve in completely uprooting the seeds of criminality. To achieve such illustrious victories, we must acknowledge the silent dedication and intelligence of the elite investigative units. This historic operation featured decisive primary investigations by the FBI Salt Lake City Field Office. They established close and relentless coordination with the San Diego Field Office to create the most effective crime-solving tactics. Joining them were the Utah Department of Public Safety and the Provo Police Department, demonstrating admirable bravery. The process of bringing criminals to light would be impossible without the critical role of those representing the scales of justice in prosecuting the case. This immense responsibility has been entrusted to Senior Counsel Matthew Lamberti, a highly experienced member of the Department of Justice's Computer Crime and Intellectual Property Section. Standing by his side in this grueling battle are distinguished Assistant U.S. Attorneys Brent Andrus and Carl LeSueur, currently serving in the District of Utah. These individuals embody the rigor and unwavering commitment to protecting truth and justice for society. The court placed special emphasis on Dunbar's extremely dangerous leadership role in this entire dark conspiracy. The massive volume of narcotics his organization trafficked is an undeniable aggravating factor. Currently, the subject remains in strict custody at a maximum security facility, awaiting the commencement of his sentence. He is counting down the days until his transfer to a Federal Bureau of Prisons facility in the near future. This final journey will permanently bring an end to the defiant reign of a criminal kingpin. The resounding success of this historic operation is the result of incredibly close investigative cooperation. It stands as a brilliant testament to the power of unity among multiple agencies in the fight against evil. The Drug Enforcement Administration DEA played a spearhead role tracking and dismantling the ring from the very first clues. The Texas Department of Public Safety also gave its full support, providing the manpower and resources necessary for high-stakes raids. This seamless coordination created an inescapable dragnet, leaving criminals with no path of retreat. The contributions of the Harris County Sheriff's Office and the Houston Police Department were equally decisive. As those on the front lines, they possessed an intimate knowledge of the local area, understanding every alleyway and the habits of the suspects. Hundreds of officers braved immense hardships conducting day and night surveillance to provide invaluable intelligence. They wagered their very lives to secure peace for the millions of residents living in Houston. This victory deserves to be etched in memory as a noble symbol of the spirit of serving the people. This crackdown carries even greater significance as it is now an integral part of the Homeland Security Task Force, HSTF. This strategic initiative was established under the criteria of Executive Order 14,159. The ultimate goal of this task force is encapsulated in a noble mission to protect the American people from aggression. In this context, aggression encompasses all threats from criminal entities that undermine national stability. The HSTF represents a steadfast, unbreakable all-of-government partnership. This task force is dedicated to the mission of uprooting brutal organized crime syndicates. Their focus is not limited to domestic targets, but extends to the elimination of dangerous foreign gangs. Transnational criminal organizations aiming to target the United States now face this impenetrable defensive wall. Ruthless smuggling and human trafficking rings operating aggressively are being exposed and dismantled one by one. The national security network is being tightened more than ever on a global scale. Through this historic interagency collaboration, a series of large-scale operations have been successfully dismantled. The HSTF has been mobilizing the full collective strength of the most elite law enforcement agencies in the United States. They utilize the most advanced tactics and technologies to identify, investigate, and entrap the masterminds. The ultimate goal is to prosecute all forms of distressing crimes ruthlessly committed by these underground organizations. The long arm of the law is reaching far, and every act that tramples on the rule of law will be met with the strictest punishment. The heinous crimes committed by these gangs have long ignited violence and deep-seated instability. They spread terror within national borders, undermining the moral foundation of society as a whole. Authorities are determined to restore the inherent peace to every street corner and heal the wounds within the community. The decisive action taken to capture the drug kingpin Dunbar serves as a powerful testament to the commitment to protecting the absolute safety of the people. A new era of stability and order is being firmly established across the entire territory. The timely intervention of the task force has breathed new life into impoverished neighborhoods. The laughter of children resonates once again on streets that were once silenced by haunting fear. Local commerce and trade are gradually bustling again within a completely safe living environment. This operation has not only dismantled crime but also ignited a powerful vitality for the entire community. The light of peace is daily warming the lives of those who have suffered so much trauma and loss. Local authorities are moving swiftly to implement a series of reconstruction programs to restore the urban landscape. Schools once threatened by the illicit drug trade are now protected by extremely rigorous security measures. Parents feel completely at ease when sending their children to school for learning and training every day. Small businesses are confidently expanding their operations, contributing to sustainable economic growth. A new life force is truly and powerfully reviving a land that once suffered from devastating wounds. In the process of carrying out this sacred duty, the task force always places humanity as the top priority. They focus specifically on investigating, dismantling, and prosecuting those involved in child trafficking rings. Any crime involving the abuse or exploitation of children is considered the most subhuman behavior. Authorities are determined to protect the future seeds of the nation from the clutches of monsters in human form. This resolve ignites a light of hope for countless young souls living in agonizing conditions. Furthermore, the HSTF fully leverages all available legal tools to thoroughly punish evil. They aggressively prosecute and execute measures to deport the most violent foreign criminals from the United States. This rigorous screening and removal process helps eliminate dangerous elements infiltrating the country from abroad at their roots. This great nation remains steadfast in its refusal to tolerate or provide a safe haven for those with malicious intent to sow chaos. The absolute strictness of the law serves as the steel shield protecting democracy and territorial integrity. Looking back at this arduous and challenging journey to crack the case, we recognize countless valuable educational lessons. No matter how sophisticated or cunning the schemes used to conceal a crime, they will ultimately be exposed by the light of justice. The tragic downfall of the individuals within this criminal syndicate serves as a profound wake-up call for all of society. Dirty money earned from the suffering of others will only lead to a disastrous end behind bars. Every citizen must arm themselves with a steadfast moral compass to resolutely reject all mediocre material temptations. The war on drugs does not end with the arrest of those who peddle the White Death. The most crucial task is to soothe the deep psychological scars etched into the souls of the victims. Experts and social workers are working tirelessly day and night to support their reintegration into society. This healing process demands patience and boundless compassion from all of us. Warm human connection will be the most miraculous medicine to help them stand tall and rebuild their lives. This case also directly highlights the immense responsibility of every family in nurturing and protecting their children. Parents need to devote more time and effort to understanding the thoughts and aspirations of the younger generation. A lack of love and lax parental supervision create a fatal loophole that allows criminals to easily infiltrate and entice youth. A happy home filled with human warmth is the most solid fortress preventing social evils from creeping into a child's soul. Let us be dedicated to educating our children with the most fundamental, noble, and compassionate moral values. The school system and social organizations must work hand in hand with families in this noble mission. Educational programs for preventing social evils should be integrated into the curriculum through visual and engaging methods. Practical lessons learned from past failures will serve as essential tools to help students protect themselves from danger. Creating more healthy and beneficial playgrounds will assist youth in developing holistically, both physically and mentally. A young generation with strong intellectual fortitude is the solid barrier that shatters every conspiracy of criminal organizations. Beyond the core role of the family, the collective strength of the entire community also plays an absolutely vital role. Every citizen should proactively become a silent warrior, always maintaining high vigilance regarding all developments in their area. Never hesitate or feel afraid to report suspicious activities or legal violations to support the authorities. The unity and courage of the public will create an invisible net, leaving criminals with no place to hide. Let us join hands to build a civilized and safe living environment where good always triumphs and pushes back evil. If you find that this story brings profound human value, please hit the like button to help spread this message of positive living. To stay with us and update yourself on the most compelling safety news, please subscribe to the channel today. In your opinion, what practical actions should we take immediately to protect the younger generation from the criminal traps already set for them? Which educational solutions would provide a breakthrough to raise community awareness in the most comprehensive way? And how can every family truly become a solid fortress to repel all temptations from the outside world?